Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ask Amber, and as you can see, today I am on video. This is the first time I've been on video in my channel because I finally finished decorating my studio. So I hope this is a positive change for you. And today we're going to be making Avril Lavigne, one of my favorite singers of all time. She really was like a huge influence on my junior high years and my high school years. We all wanted those skater shoes. We all wanted the iconic armband. We all wanted that grunge look, the punk look. It was a thing. So I had to pick an outfit to make for her, and I decided to make one from my favorite music video of hers, which is Girlfriend. I'm sure many of you have seen this video because in 2008, it actually reached the #1 most watched video on all of YouTube. And in August of that same year, it actually reached 100 million views, which had never been done before on YouTube. So in order to pay homage to one of my favorite singers of all time, who really, really is just iconic, there really is no better word for her, I've decided to recreate her in Blender. And the good news is that if you want your own version of this girl, you can absolutely download the FBX on my Patreon. I've actually made the FBX for her available for all tiers of my Patreon. So if you're interested in getting your own version of the body, the accessories, the clothing, and the hair for this Avril Lavigne model, feel free to hop on over. And if you just like to hang out, or you want to see more videos, you want to see more 3D modeling, or just stuff about me and my life, which I don't know if that's interesting or not, but you're welcome to hop on over to my Twitch and join me there. Follow me. I'd love to have you there. With all of that being said, let's get started on this 3D model. So to start off this whole journey, I actually ended up making her hair in Vroid Studios, which if you haven't heard of this, it's a free program where when you make something in here, you can actually sell it. And it's really cool because it's completely customizable. You can make all different shapes and colors of hair, and then you can add the bones and have it all ready to go, export it, and then import it into Blender really easily with a VRM importer. So I love using this. And so I just started out making her hair. I made her little top bun thing, which, fun fact, I used to wear my hair like this all the time when I was in high school. I thought it was the dopest thing ever, which, you know, maybe shows my age a little bit, but I thought it was so cool. Based on the fact that I'm making this right now, I still think it's pretty cool, in all honesty. So then I just exported her and I brought her into Blender, and I'm going to fix her as a model. And one of the first things I need to do is line up all of the bones in her hair so that they work out really well together, because for some reason when I export and import into Blender, her hair doesn't like to arrange itself very well. So I usually rename all the bones in the hair and connect them to each other so they work really well. Then I imported my face, and don't worry that there's an extra version of a body in there that will be deleted later. And then I just move the hair around so that it fits on this face really well. And then I'm going to delete the outside body and fix her up. Then all I have to do is just kind of make some adjustments using the sculpt tool, because I never really like how it comes out of there. So I usually will subdivide the body, and then I'll use the sculpt tool to kind of, you know, tweak here and there, smooth things out, make it kind of seamless, because I really don't like the jaggedy, super low poly version that I get, so I like to make it my own. Then I'm going to add my own texture on her and smooth her all out. I'm going to do a little bit more adjusting here and there so it looks a lot like Avril Lavigne's body. Now we're going to go in with the shirt. So in Marvelous Designer, I'm going to start making just a basic t-shirt and fitting it to this model. If you want to know more about Marvelous Designer, I have some videos on my Twitch channel that you can go watch. It is $50 a month currently to have Marvelous Designer, but I use it so often that for me it's totally worth the price. Next, I'm going to make these shorts where she has these straps coming off of them. So I'm just going to make a basic pair of shorts in Marvelous Designer and fit them on her body, and then I'm just going to continue adjusting until it's that low rise look that I like. Then I made the straps to go on either side because it's really cool with those hanging strap things. It just makes the whole thing come together. Lastly, I'm going to work on her socks in Marvelous Designer. So basically this is just really a pain in the butt. If you've ever tried to make socks in Marvelous Designer, it is really sometimes super difficult. So I tweaked it a lot and worked on it for a pretty long time to get exactly what I wanted, but luckily I only had to make one leg because I can mirror this later in Blender. So once I finished with all of that, I ended up exporting it, and I started with the shirt. All I have to do is put it on the model and then do my data transfer, and now I'm just tweaking little things, fixing things here and there that are going to be weird when she moves. Then I make the UV map, and I'm going to export that as a PNG to work on later in Photoshop. Now I'm going to work on the UVs of her hair. So I'm going to take her hair, and I'm just going to select the one little piece in the front that I want to be pink, and I'm going to move that over so that when I create the UV texture, I can make a pink strand in front. Now I'm just bringing in the shorts that I exported and the sock that I exported, and I just need to make sure that all the weight paint is clear on those, so when she moves around that it's all really seamless and smooth, because I don't like any clipping. I'm going to do the same for the sock. And also, I'm making sure to export the UV maps of all of these things as I go so that I can work on them later in Photoshop. I found this little heel online, but it didn't have a heel, so I had to make my own. And I'm basically just going to make it, and then I'm going to put it on her and kind of use my sculpt tool to move it around in place. Also, you can set a pose as your base pose for your armature, which is what I did here, just so that she could have high heels. And now I'm in Photoshop, and I'm actually going to create all of the textures. So for the white shirt and for the socks, I'm just using a basic t-shirt texture that I've used a bunch of other times. I'm creating a mask, and I'm making some stripes on this sock, which you'll see later I actually end up making a lot thinner. I'm going to go into my shirt, pretty much do the same thing. I'm going to add a letter A on her shoulder, which you can't really see it in the photos, but she definitely has it there. On the shorts, I'm adding this blue plaid, and I'm going to make a pattern from it, size it down, and then I'm going to make a mask so that it fits all of the places where my UV map is. Then I'm going to work on the hair. I'm just going to color it to her hair, and I'm going to make sure that I select the area that has that pink strand and make it pink. Then I'm going to apply all of my textures one by one to the avatar, and I can see that the socks need adjusting, so I do that. And now I'm just adding the fishnets to her legs. So I got this fishnet, removed the white image from behind it, and I'm putting it where her legs are on the texture. And then I'm just painting on in texture paint the rest of the netting because it didn't quite go up as far as I wanted, and I want it all to match. So now that that's done, I'm just adding some makeup to my face texture. All I did was just add a little bit of black eyeliner, eyeshadow kind of look so that she's a little bit more edgy. And then I'm going to move on to the jewelry. So this necklace has like a skull with a bow on it, and I kind of did a simplified version, and it's just a little skull that I kind of just reimagined. And then for the necklace, I actually made a curve, which is a circle, and then just a sphere with an array and a curve modifier to make the necklace. And then I just adjusted the curve in a bunch of different ways so that it fit on her neck like a necklace. I made the balls a little tiny bit bigger and then moved the skull to be right on top of it. So that creates the necklace, and once I join those together, I'm going to move on to her armband. And also her bracelet, actually. So I just took a section of her arm and I made it a new object, and then I'm putting a solidify modifier on it to make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm doing the exact same thing as I did for the necklace, but I'm making the spheres in the array a little bit bigger so that they can show up on her wrist better. And then I'm editing the UVs so that I can make a texture so every other one of the beads is going to be silver like this in Photoshop. So then I'm applying that texture to the bracelet, and I'm going to work on her other arm. On this one, I'm kind of making the little gem that's on her wrist. So I'm going to make a sphere in the center, and then I'm going to use this little jewel plugin that I have for Blender, which is really awesome, to make yet another array with another circle. And I'm going to put it all around this one, and I'm going to join those two together. And then I'm going to make a circle, and I'm going to put geometry on it so that it actually has form. I'm going to put that on her wrist, and after some adjustment, I'm going to convert it to mesh and put a material on it. And if you couldn't guess, for this last bracelet, we are also using another array modifier and another curve modifier, except this time I'm going to make a little ball, snowman kind of looking thing, so that she can have many, many different beads on her wrist. Then I'm going to make a safety pin choker, which is not exactly what she had in the music video, but I really wanted to make this, so I just did. So out of spheres, and I'm making some more shapes out of curves and using geometry, I am just creating a safety pin shape, and then I'm going to convert that whole thing to mesh and join it all together so that it's one. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another array and another curve modifier on it to make the choker. So then I put this on her neck and shape it all up to where it's supposed to be. And the last step on this is just to weight paint all the different pieces and test it out. And then very finally, I'm going to make her microphone so that I can pose her with her microphone. So I just made this out of a sphere and a cylinder. It's very, very simple. It's nothing super special. And there you go. There is Avril Lavigne. If you're so ready to see the very final product of this amazing Avril Lavigne avatar, I can't blame you. I was really excited to finish it. I can't wait to share it with you. Here it is, the final reveal of Avril Lavigne. So that's it. That's how I made this model. Don't forget to head on over to Patreon and download your very own version of this. You can edit it all you want. You can change it up. You can use it as is. Feel free to do whatever you want with it. I appreciate every single one of you for watching this video and growing my channel and just helping me out personally. So I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.